When most people open Claude Code for the first time, they feel completely lost. And believe me, I get it. Claude Code can look pretty technical, especially in the terminal. And the tutorials out there either assume that you already know what you're doing, or they drag on for about 40 minutes to even an hour before you see a single result. Now here's what we are doing instead. We are building something together, and I'll show you every feature in action. Not just talk about them, but actually show you how to actually use them. And by the end of this video, you will have the foundation. You'll know how to build something completely from scratch, how to keep on improving it until it's exactly what you want, and how to fix things when they go wrong. And on top of that, we'll also cover some of the features and tricks that will help you to go from a beginner to someone who actually knows what they are doing inside Claude Code. I've put all of the prompts, the templates, and all the resources from this video in the free school community. The link is down in the description below. But right now, let's hop over to the PC and let's get started. Now, before we build, let me give you some context that will make everything else make sense. Most AI tools are chatbots, okay? So you ask it a question and you get text back. Now, Claude Code is different. It reads your files, it reads your code, it creates projects, and then it connects to external tools. It deploys your work to the internet. So you describe what you want, and it builds it. Now here's how we are going to be using it today. You're going to open up the Claude desktop app, the exact same app that you might already use for regular Claude conversations. You need to have the Pro plan at minimum, which is about $20 a month. Okay, now once you are in, you'll see a code tab at the top. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and that's where we are going to be living for the rest of this video. Now, before we start building, I want to show you something that's going to save you money and get you better results at the same time. Do you see this model drop down next to the send button? You're going to click on that, and you've got a few options over here. Sonnet is your everyday workhorse. It's fast, it's reliable, it handles about 80% of everything that you throw at it. You get quick changes, bug fixes, simple features. This has to be your default. Now, Opus is your heavy hitter. Complex logic, architecture decisions, debugging something that won't cooperate. That's when you switch to Opus. It thinks deeper, but it also costs more and it is slower. And then there's a hybrid option where Claude uses Opus for the planning and Sonnet for the execution. So the deep thinking up front and then speed for the actual build. Now, type a / and then the word effort, and this controls how hard Claude thinks before responding. You'll see a few levels. Now, low is for quick stuff, fixing a typo, changing a color, and then medium is a solid balance of speed and quality, and then high is the default, and it's where you'll get the strongest results on most of your tasks. Now, max is for the hardest problems where you need Claude to reason as long as it takes. But at the same time, it does burn through your usage pretty fast, so save it for when it actually counts. Now for this build, I'm going to keep it on Sonnet at the default high effort. Now if I am doing something simple later on, then what I'll do is I'll just drop it down. If I need deeper reasoning, then I'll just bump it up again. Now, one more thing, the interface here, it is simple. The left side has your file explorer, and that's where your project files show up as Claude builds them. Then the chat window is in the middle, and on the right side, that is where your preview panel shows up when you are ready to see what Claude has built. Now, you can drag panels around, you can resize them, you can even pull up a terminal if you want, but you don't need to touch any of that yet. Now, before I start typing a single thing, I want to show you the most important habit that you can build with Claude Code. Most people open this up and then immediately just start asking Claude to build stuff. Then they get frustrated when it goes in the wrong direction. And here's why. When you just say, build me an app, then Claude makes assumptions. It makes dozens of them, and some of those assumptions are going to be wrong. And then you spend the next hour fixing things that never needed to be broken. The fix is right here. So, do you see the mode selector next to the send button? You switch it to plan, and now Claude is in its thinking mode. It can read your files, it can research the problem, it can ask you questions, but it won't touch any of the files quite yet. So, just think of it kind of like you're talking to a contractor before the construction starts. So, you don't want them pouring the foundation before you've actually agreed on where the front door even goes. And the way to think about prompting Claude Code is just to be clear about 5 specific things: what you want to build, who it's for, what it should do, what it should look like, and anything specific about how it should work. Now, I'm going to be typing this. I want to build a team project management app. It's for small teams that need to track tasks across different projects. It should let me create projects, add tasks with a title, description, assignee, due date, and priority level. And I want a Kanban board view where I can drag tasks between columns, to do, in progress, and done. The design should be clean, modern, dark mode, and responsive. Use local storage so it works without a backend. Okay, very simple, right? There's no jargon, there's no technical requirements, just a clear description that it can understand. Now watch this. Claude isn't just going to start building. It's asking me questions. Do I want task labels or tags? Should there be a team member list or just type in names? Do I want filters by assignee or priority? These questions are saving me from 3 revision cycles later on. All I have to do is just answer them, yes to tags, a preset team member list, and filters on both assignee and priority. And then Claude lays out the full plan, what it's going to build, the file structure, the order of operations, and I can just read through it and then I can push back or I can approve. Now for this, I am going to be approving it. And now I switch back out of plan mode. The files are showing up on the left panel. Claude's building the structure, it's writing the logic, it's styling the interface, and all of that just from one description. As it works, you'll see it pause and ask for permission before certain actions. That's just the permission system. So by default, Claude asks before it creates or edits any files. And I like this for a first build because I can see exactly what it's doing. Once I test the direction, then there's the toggle right in the chat to switch to auto accept and just let it run uninterrupted. Okay, now it's done, and I'm going to click on the index file in the File Explorer, and Preview panel opens up on the right side of the screen. Okay, now I can see that the app is right here inside Claude Code without switching to a browser. Now here's the honest part of working with Claude. This first version is good, but it's not perfect. The Kanban columns are too narrow, the task cards don't show the priority level at a glance, and the drag and drop is a little bit clunky on the edges. Now that's fine. This is where plain English iteration kicks in and everything changes. So I type, make the Kanban columns wider with more breathing room between them, add a small colored dot on each task card to show priority, red for high, yellow for medium, green for low, and make the drop-down target larger so that it's easier to drop tasks into a column. And there we go. Now it's done. The preview on the right updates instantly. The columns are now wider. Priority dots are visible on every card. And dragging, as you can see, it feels so much better. I didn't open any code files. I just described what was wrong, like I described to a designer that's sitting right next to me. I mean, it's so simple. Build, preview, describe, refine. That's the loop that you'll use on every project. Now here's the thing that everyone misses. Once you close Claude Code and you just come back the next day, it forgets everything. Your preferences, your rules, how you like things structured, all of it is gone. You are starting from scratch every session. Unless you set up a Claude.md file. Think of it as Claude's instruction manuals for your project. You write in the rules once and Claude reads it automatically at the start of every single session without you saying a single word to it. So to create one, just type /init right in the chat, and then Claude scans our entire project management app and it generates a Claude.md file that maps out what we've already built. Now that's the components, the file structure, the styling approach, all of it is in there. Now open that file and it already captured the structure of our app, but here's where you can still take control. Add in your own rules in plain English. For our project management app, I'm adding in things like always use Tailwind for styling. All task cards must show assignee, priority, and due date at a glance. Never show raw error codes to the user. Keep the color scheme dark with blue accents for interactive elements. Now, I asked Claude to add in a new feature, a task detail modal that opens when you click a card, and take a look. Claude builds it following every rule that I set. Tailwind styling, all the fields are visible, friendly error messages, dark theme with blue accents. Now, without me mentioning any of that in a prompt, because it read the Claude.md file first. That's the difference between fighting Claude on every response and having it work the way that you want from the very first message. You can also create a Claude.md in your home folder. So not inside a specific project, but at the top level. And those rules apply to every project that you work on, your global preferences, and you just have to set it once. Now, here's where this gets interesting. Our project management app works, and I mean, it looks good, but right now it lives in its own world. The tasks, the team members, the projects, they are all typed in manually, and they don't connect to anything that your team actually uses. MCP, on the other hand, it changes that. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. So what it actually means is it's how you let Claude Code talk to your external tools. Tools like N8N, Slack, Google Sheets, GitHub, databases, APIs, tools that you already use every day. Setting it up is pretty simple. All you do is just go to Customize on the top left, you click on Connectors, you add a custom connector, and then you drop in the link and you're connected. It takes literally under 10 seconds. Now, I've connected our app to N8N, and it's a workflow automation platform in case you didn't know. So just think of it as the engine that connects all of your tools together. Now, I ask Claude to build an N8N workflow that triggers whenever a task in our app is marked as overdue, and it should send a Slack notification to the assignee and log it in a Google Sheet. Now, Claude already knows how N8N nodes work because of the MCP connection. So it can search for the right nodes and it can wire all of them together for us. Now, there it is. The workflow is now built. Our project management app now has real automation behind it. Overdue tasks trigger notifications automatically. And this is what most tutorials skip. They show you how to build a nice page and then they decide to stop. They don't show you how to plug it into your actual workflow. MCP is how you go from a demo to a real tool that your team can really use. Now, we've been building for a while now, and there's something happening in the background that most beginners don't actually notice until it starts causing the problems. Now, do you see this usage button here, the toolbar? That shows your context usage. Think of that as Claude's short-term memory. Every message, every file that it reads, every response, that begins to fill up. Now, when it gets too full, then Claude actually starts forgetting things from earlier. It contradicts itself, it loses track of decisions that you made 10 minutes ago. And here's how you manage it. Just type in /compact. This compresses the entire conversation into a summary. And then Claude only keeps what matters. So the files we're working on, the architecture of our project management app, the Claude rules, the N8N connection, and it just drops all of the noise. /clear is different on the other hand. That wipes everything. It's like a full reset. So use it when you're switching to a completely different task and you don't need anything from the current session. Compact to keep going and clear to start over. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, there's one more thing that you can do. You can paste screenshots directly into the chat. Now, if you see something weird in the preview on the right, then just screenshot it, paste it in, and say, fix this. Then Claude looks at the image, it figures out what's wrong without you actually even describing it. Okay, now I want to add something harder to our app. Okay, so everything so far has been fairly straightforward. The layout, the data, the drag and drop, but this next feature needs Claude to reason through a real problem. I want to add a workload analytics dashboard, something that looks at all the tasks across all projects and it shows which team members are overloaded, which ones have capacity, and flags tasks that are at risk of missing their due date based on how long similar tasks have taken in the past. Now, that's not a simple request that I'm giving it. There's logic involved, and how do you calculate at risk? What counts as overloaded? And what if someone just got assigned 5 tasks today and they aren't even due in a month? I'm going to bump up the effort level before I send this in, /effort, and I'm switching it to max. Now, this is the kind of problem where I want Claude to take as long as it needs to properly sort it out. Now I'll add in my prompt, and there you have it. tasks in the same priority level, display it as a clean table with color-coded status indicators. Now watch the response. Before Claude writes any code, it's thinking through the problem step by step, and you can actually see it working. It's figuring out how to calculate average completion times, handling edge cases where there's not enough historical data, and it's deciding how to structure the risk assessment. Now, this is extended thinking. When you set a higher effort level, you get more of it. Claude doesn't just pattern match to a common solution, it actually works through the specifics of what you asked for. Now, for changing a color or for fixing spacing, you really don't need this. But when it comes to anything with real logic, analytics, multi-step calculations, features that depend on other features, bump that effort level up and let it reason through it. And look at the result. The workload dashboard is there. It's pulling from all the tasks that we've created. Team members who are overloaded are now flagged in red, and at-risk tasks have a yellow warning indicator with an estimated delay. Team members with capacity show in green. I described what I wanted, and Claude actually thought through how to make it actually work. Now that was cool, but most tutorials would end right here. Like, look, it works on your computer. Nice. Then you close the app and nobody in your team sees it. We are not doing that. We are putting this on the internet right now. So I type deploy this project to Vercel. I want a live URL that I can share with my team. You'll need a Vercel account set up first, and it's completely free. But once you have that, Claude actually handles all of the rest. It configures the project, it connects to Vercel, it pushes the build, and it comes back with a URL. Now that URL is live. Anyone in your team with that link can open the app. They can see their tasks, they can check the workload dashboard, and they can drag cards between columns on their phone, laptop, anywhere. You went from an idea to a deployed team tool on the internet. And you did it in just one session, in plain English. Everything that we did together, the planning, the Claude.md, the models, the MCP connection, the deployment, that's the foundation, that's the core loop. But Claude Code goes even deeper. And I want you to know where this goes next. Skills are reusable instructions that Claude loads automatically when they are relevant. I mean, I have skills that handle how I write components, format commits, and also runs tests before anything gets merged. You install them once and they work across everything that you built. Claude figures out when to use them on its own, and you can browse and you can install them right from the code tab. Click the plus button next to the prompt box and then plugins, and you'll see what's available. Hooks let you attach automatic actions to Claude's behavior. Every time Claude edits a file, auto-format it. Every time it finishes a task, send yourself a notification. Every time it creates a new component, run a test suite. You wire these up once and they run in the background forever. And then there's routines. Now routines are automations that run on Anthropic's cloud, not on your laptop. So while you sleep, you can set up a routine to review every pull request overnight, to triage your bug list every Monday morning, to check your documentation weekly, and flag anything that's outdated. You configure it once at the routines page, or you type in /schedule right here in the chat, and then Pro gets 5 runs per day. Max gets 15. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. You didn't learn how to use a tool today. You learned a system to plan, build, customize, connect, manage, deploy. Everything else is going deeper on each piece. And honestly, we are still pretty early. The people learning this right now are building a skill that most people haven't started even thinking about yet. That window, it's not going to stay open forever. So if this was helpful, then the Free School community has everything from today: the prompts, the Claude files, the templates, and the full resource guide. The link is in the description below, and I will see you on the next one.